All right, what's up guys? Hope all is well. Hope everyone's having an amazing day. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. In today's video, we're gonna be going over how to build a crazy V-taper. So when we look at a V-taper, what is a V-taper, right? Essentially, in the name, it's when your physique makes a V, right? So how are you gonna get this illusion of having a V in your physique? Well, you wanna focus on these two muscle groups. The first muscle group that you wanna focus on is you wanna focus on your shoulder, right? So obviously you can't change how wide your clavicles are. So if your clavicle is this big, like mine, you can't make it wider and have your shoulders start out here. But you can increase the size of your side delts and make that illusion a lot bigger and better, right? So the first muscle group we want to focus on is the shoulders. We want to specifically focus on the side delts. The second muscle group we want to focus on is going to be your lats. So your lats are right over here. So when you're doing some of these bodybuilding poses, right, you have a front lat, you have a front double bicep, your lats are going to be popping out here. And then also, if you have some big lats, right, you're going to be more like this. So it's going to give you that illusion of having a V-taper. So we're going to be going over the two exercises, one for each body group or body part, my favorites, right? So my first exercise for lats is going to be a close grip lat pull down. Okay, so it's going to be right over here. So for the close grip lat pull down, I like to go pretty heavy, right? I like to go pretty heavy, anywhere in that 6 to 8 rep range. The reason I like to do this is because when you start off with a lat pull down, right, you have a lot of energy, you don't have a lot of fatigue, right? And once you get super strong at this, you'll see a massive difference in your lats, right? When we look at a neutral grip, why do we want to have a neutral grip instead of a traditional lat pull down, right? When we look at the neutral grip, this is going to force your elbows to be tucked in. So right over here, right? It's going to force your elbows down. So when it forces your elbows down towards your hip, this is going to hit your lower lats specifically. Your lower lats really important because that's what's going to make your lats pop from the front and the back, okay? So hitting the lower lat is extremely important, and the close grip lat pull down, by far the best exercise in my opinion. So how do we want to set this up? So what you want to do is, number one, you want to first use straps. That way your grip is not a limiting factor. From here, when you sit down, right, you want to have your feet, make sure the pad is nice over here, that way you're stable. And then essentially a lot of people are very upright, but what I like to do is I like to lean back a little bit. So I'm going to grab the handles, have a slight lean back, and then from here I'm not moving at all. And then from here I'm focused on driving my elbows to my hip, right, while keeping my elbows tucked. I don't want to do this, right? So keep the elbows tucked, drive to your hip. Nice and easy. And then when I come up, that's a full stretch, and go back down. You don't have to go from here all the way over here, because this is just going to put a stretch in your rotator cuff, right? So here, slight lean back, and you want to drive nice all the way down, right? Make sure you get super strong on this, and you'll see your lats blow up significantly. So that's going to be the first exercise that targets your lats. Now we're going to go on to the second exercise, which is going to hit the second most important muscle group when you're building a V-taper, which is going to be your shoulders and specifically your side delts. Now we're going to get some side delts. When we look at the exercise, right, my favorite side delt exercise is going to be the single arm cable lateral raise, right? You might be thinking, why am I not doing dumbbell lateral raises? So dumbbell lateral raises, they're a very solid movement, but the thing with dumbbells are they work with gravity, right? So over here, if I hold a dumbbell, they have no weight, right? There's no weight on the side delt, there's no tension on the side delt. And when the dumbbell and your arm are 90 degrees, that's when it's heaviest, right? Because once again, dumbbells work with gravity. So it's going to be heaviest when you're in this position, right? Which is also the shortened position of the side delt. So we want to make sure that it's the opposite, right? So that's where the single arm cable lateral raise comes into place. A lot of people do this exercise with this handle over here and at the bottom, which is not bad, right? This is pretty decent, right? You'll get a good stretch and you'll get a good contraction at the top, right? But what I like to do is, instead of using this handle right here, this D handle, I like to use a cuff, right? The reason you want to use a cuff is that way your grip doesn't become a limiting factor, right? A lot of the times, if you're doing this and you're doing 12, 13 reps, your grip strength might start to give out. With the cuff, if you have your hand in here, right, grip strength not really a factor. So you can do as many reps as you want, right? One thing you're going to notice is this, right over here where the cable is, it's about wrist height, right, or about hip height. And this is all the way to the bottom. So once again, like I mentioned, when the dumbbell and your arm are 90 degrees, that's when it's heaviest, right? So with this exercise, it's the complete opposite. When I put this on over here, now the arm and the cable are 90 degrees over here, So this exercise, it's heaviest at the bottom, right? So the stretch is where it's heaviest, and then when I come up, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. Whereas the dumbbell is the opposite, right? When I do dumbbell lateral raises, it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. So this over here, you're gonna get a good stretch, right? It's gonna be very heavy, and then as you come up in the shortened position, it's gonna get lighter, which it should be, and it's gonna hit less of your traps. So you can really, really focus on the side delts. For this, make sure you're always starting off with your weaker side. So for me, I'm right-handed. My right shoulder is a little bit bigger than my left shoulder, so I'll start off with my left side. And then for this, I like to do 3 sets, very, very high reps, anywhere from 15 to 20 reps, right? Really focus on the pump, really focus on the contraction. That way you get some massive side delts. But all in all, that's gonna be the video for today. Make sure you incorporate these 2 exercises, the single arm cable lateral raise at hip height, and the close grip lat pull down to hit some lats. That way you can build a crazy V-taper. But if you want some help with your fitness goals, click the link in the description for my one-on-one coaching. I'll help you lose body fat, lose weight, build muscle, whatever your goal is, I'll help you out. But all in all, I appreciate you guys. Until next time, thanks.